This is Chaotic here with another CZN video. Today we're going to talk about Birding Life, the new season for Chaos. And today we're going to attempt a tier 15. So we did increase that tier by 1 for additional 10 save data space. And we're going to try to build Mika in this run. 9 and Serenial are pretty much set for this 2-team member. They just blow through the content so fast. You only really need those two to carry the entire run. So we're going to start off by we're going to go ahead and choose this first option to just speed through this run a little bit faster. And then with this new save data space, we're going to be able to remove 3 basics for up to 60 points, and then 2 more removals up to a total of 5 maximum for only a total of 60 cost. So let's just map out where we're going to go. So a new feature is the arena mod down here at the bottom. So we're going to shoot for that section of the map. We don't want to hit these training grounds and the shops too early, so we're going to start off here in the middle and work our way down. And that is because with the new quality of life changes, the shop will be able to reroll the epiphanies, and you don't want to hit those shops too early because we may or may not even have hit the epiphany for the card that we want to hunt for. So whereas before in the previous Chaos season, we were able to get that underground tunnel, and in those tunnels we were guaranteed certain divine epiphanies, and in this season those divine epiphanies are much harder to come by and not guaranteed early on anymore. There is one event, which is a rare event, in this first half of this Chaos that will be able to trigger a select divine epiphany for a curse card, and that event is pretty rare. So let's just hope that we get that. The main grind for this season is getting that epiphany before we get to the first copy event from the first boss. So the main thing that we have to keep in mind is getting the epiphany on the card that we want to focus on before we get to the shops. And if we get the regular shop, that is okay because we can still remove a basic, but we really want to try to avoid that training ground early on. So with this exploit opening from an E29, we can deal a lot more damage. You can see here that's about a third of the bar, and now that's a little over half. And usually this is the end of the first turn, but I would be able to play another exploit opening here, but with a discard debuff from this Chaos, I'm not going to be able to play another one for a defense break. So we'll take some damage and move on to the second turn. So we don't get the divine epiphany for the source of water that I'm really hunting for here, so I'm just going to choose one. It doesn't really matter which one. I'm going to reroll here into something. Now the gear doesn't really matter. We're just going to still continue to extract, but before we hit that first arena mod, you do want to try to have at least one piece of gear on the main character you're trying to build, and potentially another piece on a second character you might want to build. And that is mostly because the arena mod, you may not get the right mod for the character that you're building, whether you're building a support and you make it a DPS mod, or you're building a DPS character and you get support mods. So it's not a bad idea to have 2 characters that you're building in mind. The only thing you're really needing is that epiphany for the card before you get to the arena mod, which in most cases you probably will not. So the hue here is going to defense break as well as heal, and we're basically out of AP here if we didn't have the source of water. This exploit opening will be able to defense break and get those lasers back, so that's really powerful. Makes the quality of life for farming these chaos runs with 9 and Serenial a lot better. And I would say that the quality of life for removing 2 additional cards at no cost is really helpful, especially for characters like Mika where you want to get rid of that whirlpool. So here we're a little over 5 minutes into the run, and we're at the halfway point, and we still don't have any gear on any of our characters, which is okay, since I'm only focusing on Mika at this point. And we have 3 choices for loot. Defense percent pieces are decent, but I'm not really needing those sets right now, so we're just gonna go ahead and skip that. Okay, so this is actually a really good piece for Mika. The additional healing is 25% is really nice. We're gonna put that on her ring slot, and then hopefully we'll get the arena mod that will also boost heals and shields by 15%. That will be the ideal start that will allow us to move forward with re-rolling the epiphany for source of water. What we're really shooting for is 3 copies of healing water that also draws an additional card for the Divine Epiphany. And for this first part of the run, we want to hit as many of these regular red mobs as possible, and that is because they have the chance for the Cthulhu event. And for most of the characters, I would say the items in this season are slightly weaker compared to last, especially for DPS. There are not a whole lot of good DPS options for the attack slot, so that Cthulhu 18% attack weapon is really good for DPS carries outside the defense-based ones. And then also the defense percent armor is really good for supports that heal as well as for 9. So here we see the weapons pile. It's a good idea to hit that if you don't have cards that one shot. So Hugh here is just gonna one shot, and then you can see this homing laser does barely any damage or tenacity damage, so we can probably just go ahead and use these to get a couple of these 0 cost cards. And what we're aiming for and hunting for are these shield blasts, which damage all enemies. So we're going to go ahead and use this, and we'll get 2 more of these, which should clear out this group here. And then this main boss here is a little bit tankier, so we're going to go ahead and use exploit opening on him. And since we did discard our Hue, we're going to go ahead and do the same strategy, hunt for these shield blasts. Another one, we'll use Pierce on the weapons pile. We'll use exploit opening. Alright, there's that wave right there. And let's see if we can... Ooh, this is a really good weapon. This is probably best in slot for supports. It does give the 15% bonus damage if you've activated damage shield and heal in the same turn. And this is a huge one, so we're going to go ahead and equip this to Amika. And let's hope for a support arena mod here. And we do get it, so we're just going to place out on one of these items. Doesn't matter which one, I'm not going to be replacing either of those two items as we go through the run. So this run pretty much has been ideal outside of getting that Epiphany, the Divine one, on the very first roll. But we have maybe 2 or 3 more chances before we get to the main copy event in the second part of the Chaos run. So from here on out, we're going to just speed things up a little bit. And we're just going to try to farm quickly so that we're not using a lot of time. Oh, should have clicked on the red. I accidentally clicked on this purple battle. So we use the exploit openings there to create these defense breaks, which in turn will allow us to get these homing lasers back. And put out some extra damage onto the second unit. Okay, and let's see if this will kill. Does not crit. Ooh, we did get a divine here. Let's see what we get. This draw one is nice. Do kind of want the upgrade though, just to thin out the deck some. For now, we're going to keep this draw. And do have quite a bit of credit saved. I don't need this piece, but potentially we could start saving some of these pieces for our other characters. So let's first start with this reroll. We don't get the divine. Gonna remove a basic here. Probably should have restarted this run with until we got the 2 remove basics at the very beginning. I'm gonna go ahead and just try for armor piece. This is a cheap piece that will give some nice damage to 9 for the vulnerable, so we're gonna go ahead and buy that. We should be able to kill the boss in the next turn with one more Hue attack. Alright, in this first copy event, we're going to just go ahead and skip it. We don't want to copy this source of water, and that will in turn need 2 copies that need to be rerolled. So we're going to go ahead and skip that. Equipment, don't need any of these. Although we could probably keep this armor for 9 since we have an abundance of credits at this point. Second set of items that we can look at. We're going to go ahead and skip those for now. Extra AP. Alright, so we have this top node which gives us 2 rerolls before the arena mod. So let's go ahead and choose that. We do want to hit these unidentified as often as possible, but that's more important for the second half of this second stage. So for now, our main focus is to go ahead and get this Divine Epiphany. And if we don't get this Divine Epiphany here, then we'll probably just go ahead and reset this run. So here we're going to use the exploit opening to defense break here. Get a laser back for some more damage. Alright, so here we get another reroll for this Epiphany. No divine. We'll try one more time. Oh, did not remove a basic. Went too fast. So this does not kill. So we're going to use exploit opening here to kill this in one shot. So the only one problem with playing that Counterblade version is not being able to play cards before we kill the enemies. Alright, so we're gonna re-roll this another time. Hope for a Divine Epiphany right here, which we did not get. Alright, so I'm gonna go into this arena mod stage, and then there's one more shop right after this, so this might be the end of our run. And this kind of sucks because I started off with a really good item build with the ring and the weapon, and if I didn't hit those two already with the correct arena mod on top of that, I would have reset at the first boss. Alright, so we can just go ahead and one-shot this Boss here. Alright, let's see if we get another useful arena mod with 10% ally damage, maybe. Okay, we do. We're going to go ahead and put that in weapon. So what we're going to hope for here is really to get that Divine Epiphany. This is a really good run in terms of items and arena mods. So there's layers of RNG on top of RNG. So let's just try for this again and let's see if we can get it. Oh, we do get the Divine. But we don't get the right one. We're just going to go ahead and choose this one for now. It is a good temporary... we really need some remove events too. I have too many basics that I need to do at this point. I guess potentially I could use this build. It does give a lot of AP for that one card. Let's try to get a... We don't want to use any more credits here. So there's 3 unidentified top, so we're going to go top. Now if we don't get a removal event, we're probably going to have to reset this run because at this point I have too many cards in my deck. And we're also missing the Cthulhu event right now. Okay, here is the rare event. And let's see. I am going to go ahead and just copy a card. I really wish that was the draw one though version. Alright, here we have a turn 2 kill. Hopefully get a Cthulhu event here. Nope. Alright, so we have one more unidentified area left for a removal event. Nope, we didn't get it. This run is pretty much bricked now because if we're looking at our card, we have 2 waters left, which we can only remove 1, and then Blessing the Waves Deluge. So we really want to be able to remove 3 more of these cards. So at this point, it's just a good time to exit. I'm not gonna finish up this run here since we do have a tier 15 with decent subs on it. But that's pretty much it. Farming this new chaos, the new type of grind. Got to make sure that we get those divine epiphanies correct, while also getting the correct armor and the arena mods for those pieces. So good luck hunting for the perfect save data set, guys. If this was helpful, please like, subscribe, leave a comment below what you're hunting for, what you like, what you did not dislike about this new season. And as always, have a great day.